Hello everyone. Two things today. So first we're going to make this optical illusion logo using Adobe Illustrator. And then with that logo, we're going to animate it in Adobe Animate. And we'll export as the MP4 video file. It will look like this. I just named it as a Trimax because this is triangle. Okay, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel, hit the like button, and set the alarm for my latest video. Then let's get started. Okay, so this is new Adobe Illustrator document. So first, choose your polygon tool in your toolbox, polygon, and then set your fill color to none and just a black stroke, and click somewhere. Since we're gonna draw a triangle, numbers of size is gonna be 3, and the size of this triangle 120 point, and okay. So we have this. Now, open your stroke panel, increase your stroke weight up to 40 point. It's pretty heavy and bold. Go to Object menu, expand it. Check the fill and the stroke boxes, okay. And switch the color. So no fill, just a black stroke. I'm gonna change my stroke weight down to finest line. Okay, now we're gonna have multiple copies of this. Let me zoom in, and then just to be more accurate, what I'm gonna do is, let me select it. I'm going to change my view mode from the preview to outline view. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do is hold down the Option key, keep pressing your mouse button on your triangle, and shift and drag it right next to it, and stop there. There has to be overlaid very accurately. So let me zoom in. See that? It is a little offset. So what I'm gonna do is, let me select this, keep pressing your mouse button and the shift key. I'm gonna move back to the position right on top, just like there. So it looks good. Let me zoom out. I need one more copy. Let me select my second one. Option, keep pressing, shift, and drag it. And now select everything. I need to keep the even space. So open alignment panel. On your second row, distribute object, and choose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the fifth one. Horizontal distribute center. So now they are evenly spaced. Let me choose my middle one. Keep pressing your mouse button on your triangle, hold down the shift key and move it up. I'll repeat the same step. Just to zoom in, it is not too bad, but it's slightly off. So I will do the same thing. Choose that, click, shift, move it up, and I'm gonna move it back to the position like that. So it looks good. Okay, and the next step is choose the pen tool and link from that point to that point and escape ESC. I'll link from there to there, that anchor point as well. Escape from that point to that point and escape. Now let me select all. Now I'm going back to the preview mode. Okay, now choose your shape builder. Place your mouse cursor on top little triangle. We're gonna get rid of it. Hold down the option, you see the minus symbol, and click. Option, click. Option, click. Now place your mouse cursor on this upside down triangle on top. Keep pressing and drag to the next piece. So they are linked together. From this one to the next and the next. From the bottom left corner piece, keep pressing, link to the next one, next up. And the last piece here. Keep pressing next piece to link it, and the next and the next. Okay, so we have this. Now, as I showed you at the beginning, I'm going to round the corner. So use your shape build, the direct selection tool, click on that corner, hold down the shift key, click on this bottom left corner and the right. Then you will see that little triangle on each corner. There are only 3 now. Choose one of them, keep pressing and round it. Okay, so we're almost there. Just it's time to color. So let me choose just this first one. Okay, then in your swatches, just to apply this gradient. And then I don't want to have that stroke. No stroke color. So this gradient is not too bad, but I want to customize it. So once you choose it, open your gradient. Okay, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections. I'm gonna delete one of them. Just like that. And you can control the gap in between. Okay. And then, let me do this. First color, I like that. The second color is okay. The third one, I want to make it much darker. So double click that spot and color swatches and choose this red. And the last spot, double click. I'm going to make it even darker. So there's no darker color red. It's okay, but open your color palette and add more black. Way darker, like that. Alright, then let me change the other direction, the angle of this color, the gradient color. So choose your gradient tool. I'm gonna change it from there to this direction, like that. Or from there, like that. Somewhere like this. Okay, now second piece. Just to choose your eyedropper tool and sample the color. Then just to change the direction, the angle of this gradient fill, like that. And my last piece, eyedropper, sample the color, then gradient tool from bottom to top, just like that. Okay, so this is the optical illusion triangle we created. You can apply any different color as you wish. So once you have that, just leave it open. Then go to Photoshop. Also, I made a link to this file in my description. We're gonna crop it into a certain size. So choose your crop tool. Choose the width, height, and resolution option. Set the size of 600 pixel by 600 pixel and 72 dpi, and then please crop the top and double click. So that's the file. I'm gonna save it for web, export, save for web. I'm gonna save it as just a JPEG. Okay, so I saved it already. Okay, now go to Adobe Animate. Since we cropped the background, the image size is 600 pixel by 600 pixel, I'm gonna set to the same size, 600 by 600 height, because I'm going to upload it on my Instagram. And frame rate 30. Platform type really doesn't matter. HTML5 or ActionScript 3.0 really doesn't matter, because we're gonna export as MP4 file and create it. Okay, so first, once you open Animate, from Photoshop, we saved that file, this one, as a 600 by 600 pixel JPEG file. So I'm going to just drag and drop that file into my Animate. So this is my background file, bg.jpg. Drag and drop. So it's here. Okay, now back to Illustrator. We're gonna need to import this, but we need just one of this. So just select one piece like this and edit, copy, and back to animate, and paste in center. Choose the paste using AI file. Okay, so we have that. Okay, so first I'm gonna change the bottom layer's name. I'm gonna rename it as a BG because this is a background layer, and I'm going to hide it for now. Okay, in this top layer, I need two more pieces to complete that triangle. Option and drag it, and let me choose my free transform tool and rotate it like that. Okay, so somewhere there. Let me make sure it is slightly offset, just like there. Okay. Now I'm gonna need one more piece. Hold down the option, keep pressing and drag it, and free transform tool, let me rotate it like that. And let me zoom in. I'm gonna place it right there. Okay, so it looks good. Let me choose all three, place it center, somewhere there. Okay. I want to make sure it has the good position, so let me reveal my background layer. Okay, so it looks okay. And let me hide it again. I'm gonna make it slightly smaller. So let me choose my free transform tool and hold down the shift key and make it a little bit smaller like that. Okay, so it is almost center but a little bit upper center. Okay, then now we're gonna animate it. Select all three pieces, go to modify menu, timeline, distribute to layers. See that? All three layers. So each layer has one piece now. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Then now highlight the frame number 10 on top layer. Hold down the shift key. Highlight frame number 10 on the very first piece of your triangle. Then insert a keyframe. See that? My background layer is hidden still. Now select all these three layers together by holding down the shift key and click it. Then place your mouse cursor somewhere in between. Any layer, any frame is okay. Then hold down the control key or right click. Choose create classic twin. Okay, now move your playhead to the very beginning. Okay, let me choose my first one on my first frame, keyframe. I'm going to move it to the top left corner. My second piece to the bottom top, the right top, and then this last piece to the very bottom, like that. So I changed the location, the position of each piece on the first keyframe. So this is happening like this. It's not too bad, but I want to give some more changes. This time, let me select all the first keyframe of this each piece, all three. Then in your properties panel, there's the ease options. I'm going to increase this number up to 100. It's a kind of a slight change, but it is different. See that? Okay. There's some kind of a speed difference. And then let me move back to the very beginning. My first piece, this one. What I'm going to do is, once you choose it on your first keyframe, that first piece, open transform panel. It is under Windows menu and transform. I'm going to make it smaller, like a 50%. Make sure the constraint link is linked. And also I'm going to rotate it 90 degree. Also in color effect, let me choose the alpha value and move this slide bar down to 0. So what's going to happen is it is fading in, spinning, and getting bigger. See? I'll do the same, repeat the same thing on the second and the third piece. On first keyframe, transform 50% smaller. I'm rotating 90-degree angle, and the color effect alpha down to 0. My last one, transform 50% smaller. I'm rotating 90-degree angle, and the alpha value down to 0. So this is happening. It's pretty cool, isn't it? Okay, so my plan is right after that I want to present the title. So I just assign the kind of hypothetical name, Trimax. So let me add a new layer on top. Right after that, so on frame number 10, let me insert timeline and blank keyframe. You see the empty circle? That's the blank keyframe. And choose your type tool. Let me type the word Trimax. And my typographic choices is a Blade Runner a movie font from the font.com. I'm gonna change my text color to like that, Trimax, and let me center it there. Okay, so Trimax. Then go to modify menu, break apart. I want to animate it, the letter by letter. So I just broke into the individual letter. Then go to modify menu, timeline, distribute to layers. See that? So all individual letters on the individual layer. Then modify again, break apart again. So now this is a graphic, like a create outlines in Illustrator. Then, so once my triangle is completed, I want to do some text animation. Let me highlight frame number 20 on letter T layer. Hold down the shift key. Click on the frame number 20 on your letter X, the last letter. Then insert the keyframe. Now select all the letter layers by holding down the shift key. Hover your mouse cursor somewhere in between any layer like we did, and hold down the control key or right click and create classic twin. Okay, now I'm placing my playhead on the first keyframe of my all letters, and I'm selecting all first keyframe of each letter, this black dots. Okay, then let me change these options like the same way, up to 100. Then I'm gonna move it to the left, not too much, just like that. Then let me change the color effect alpha down to 0. So this is happening so far. See? Okay, but I want to give some kind of time gap between each letter. So letter T comes in first, letter R, I want to make it come a little after. So I select the letter R layer, click on the entire segment and drag it up to 25. 5 more frames. Next letter, frame number 30. Next letter, frame number 35. And the next one to 40. And the next one to 45. So let me rewind it and let me play it. It looks pretty cool, but the problem is at the end we only see the letter X. I want to keep it. So since we are using the frame number 45 so far, let me highlight frame number 45 on my letter A layer, the second layer from the top. Hold down the shift key and click on the second layer from the bottom. Then insert the keyframe. Then watch. Isn't it cool? Okay. And after that, I want to make this entire logo with the text a little bit bigger, slightly. So on frame number 45, select everything. Then copy. Okay. Then, still my top layer is selected. I'm going to insert a new layer on very top. And frame number 46, highlight it. There's nothing yet. Insert, timeline, blank keyframe. Then on that blank keyframe, on frame number 46, edit, paste in place. See? So it's there. Now, I'm going to make it slightly bigger. On up to the frame number 60, 2-second mark. Highlight the frame number 60 on top layer, insert the keyframe. Place your mouse cursor somewhere in between, hold down the control or right click, create classic twin. Then on frame number 46 to 60, highlight the frame number 60, choose your free transform tool and make it slightly bigger. Hold down the shift key and make it a little bit bigger, not too much, like that. So this is happening. Bigger. Bigger. Okay. And then, as I mentioned at the very beginning, I want to upload it on my Instagram posting. And then the nature of Instagram video file is looping. It keeps repeating and repeating, repeating. So after that, I want to give some kind of a time after that. So maybe 3 more seconds. So let me do this. So I'm ending at the 2-second mark for now. So on frame number 5, frame number 150, 5-second mark, let me insert the keyframe. So the plan is, once it is done, it will stay 3 more seconds. And once it hits frame number 150, which is a 5-second mark, it will go back to the beginning. So people can keep seeing. The problem is my background is gone. So let me reveal my background layer. We only have that on the first keyframe only. So on frame number 150, which is a 5-second mark, let me insert timeline, just a frame. Okay, now we can test it, how it's gonna look like. So under control menu, test a movie, in Animate. See? 1, 2, 3, and play again. So it looks pretty cool, isn't it? Okay, now let me save it first. Save as. I'm gonna save as trimax.fla. Place it, and let me export it as a movie file. Export video and media. So we're gonna export it as an MP4 file so we can upload it on the Instagram. Okay, so you will see the export media panel. Make sure your media encoder is open, Adobe Media Encoder. Okay, I'm gonna keep this size 600 by 600 pixel, and nothing's changing. Make sure your entire movie format is supposed to be H.264. This is the format for the web streaming service as an MP4 file. And the preset, I'm going to use just default, so we can keep the same size. And then the output, that's the destination. I'm going to export to my my folder as a Trimax, and save it and export it. Let me check my media encoder. Yep, I think it is done. Then let me check my folder. I will see that Trimax MP4. Oh, I have another one. That's the new one. Okay, so let me preview it. See? That's pretty cool. Okay. And I will show you from my Instagram. Okay, so I have the MP4 file on my iPhone, so you can view it. All right. So let me upload it on my Instagram. Posting looks good. Next, and the next, and share. Okay, so it is on my Instagram now, and it keeps playing, keeps looping. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and then I will see. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.